Hey, well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. I thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. But on today's episode, I entitled it, man, yeah, the IDs, digital ID push, and Prime Minister out of London, England, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is pushing it and saying that it's mandatory. Now, what is digital ID? Everything, all your driver's license, your identity card, social security, your bank accounts, everything looped on your phone on an app on your phone. Everything looped. Everything. Bank accounts, like I said before, driver's license, your work ID, everything looped, your passport, everything looped. The people Steiner is saying it's going to be benefits. It's going to be leaning on convenience, and saying that it's the best thing and you have to have as mandatory, or you're going against the law. Now imagine walking around with digital IDs. You can leave your wallet home, you can leave your purses home, and you're walking around with digital IDs. And you can't go into work unless you have a digital ID. You may not be able to buy groceries, or you can't do anything unless you walk around with a digital ID. But I'm gonna dive into it to explain even more, and I'm gonna have video of Prime Minister Stamer talking about how really important it is to have the digital IDs.
Digital ID, let me be really clear about it. Firstly, we have made a commitment to do whatever we can to stop people arriving illegally in the United Kingdom. One of the issues is the ability people have to work illegally in our economy. We have to do something about that. We can't shirk that or duck that. We had a strong manifesto commitment to deal with it. I think the vast majority, if not everyone in the UK, wants it gripped. And we need to therefore take measures necessary to grip it. One of the things on digital ID that I do think we need to emphasise and make the case for, frankly, is the great benefits of digital ID. You can see from Estonia the speed with which people can access services that are available to them, which has been transformational, and there's great enthusiasm in Estonia for it. Here in India, I think it's 1 billion people have digital ID. It's been taken up on a voluntary basis in huge numbers. Not least because it means that you can access your own money, make payments so much more easily than is available with others. So I think now we need to go out and make that case of the huge benefits that this will bring. There needs to be a national debate about it. And I think that the more people see the benefits that come with this, the more, as has happened in other countries, people say, that will make my life easier, and therefore I want to get on with it.
The Prime Minister is stating that they have to regulate illegals coming into Great Britain. And by having the digital IDs, it would allow to regulate people coming into the country. But in many cases, just like the United States, can't control everyone coming in. And he's leaning and using that excuse to bring out the digital IDs and making it mandatory for people to have it, citizens of Great Britain to have it, or else they can't work. And some people are for it, and some people are totally against it. You see, the people that's for it is looking at it as a convenience thing. But do they understand that you can't say anything you want to say? Because you see, because most of us carry our cell phones with us. And you don't think like a device like that's already plugged into your phone, like Siri, is listening to your conversations. Now, if they don't like what you say or the conversation you're having with people, they can they can really, really regulate you. Because remember, digital ID has all your identification on it. where you work, when you're getting paid, your social security number, where you go, where you go for vacation, what you do or say in your social media, or your conversations you have with people. And if they don't like what you say, or they don't like the conversation you're having with somebody, you don't think that they can stop your payments? You don't think that they can put a halt to when you're getting paid, or they can regulate or the money that you're receiving from your job, or tell your job, or just totally shut down your digital ID because of what you stand for? Leave a comment. You don't think this is a form of control? I do. It's just another device that's put on your phone as a form of control. Now, I'm going to share what somebody else says about, give you more insight of digital ID. Oh, it's hitting Great Britain, but you don't think it's going to hit the United States or other places as well, other countries as well? The Prime Minister said it already hit India. So I have more insight on digital ID because I didn't know what it was at first. But when I looked into it and when I see people talking about it, I had to do my research and get more insight on digital ID.
Digital ID is going to be a mandatory digital identifier that we all have to have in this country, basically an entry on a government database. Which is the seed for something very, very different in this country. We've never had to carry ID of any type, not since the Second World War. In peacetime, have we had to carry ID papers in this country? But now we will have to, and it will have to be digital. And it will be the beginning of a massive digital record about every citizen in this country. So I think the questions now and the conversation now is about how far will that grow? How much data will be on it? Where and when will we need to present it? And how might it be used in a way that it effectively becomes like a license, like a permit, that it can be taken away or required for certain things? The government has said in the first instance it will be required in order to work. But already we've heard from ministers over recent days about the numerous other ways in which you will have to have a digital ID to live your life.
Such as?
So the right to work is the first one, then the right to rent, so that you would have to show your landlord your digital ID.
Sorry, your right to live somewhere
Yeah,
is going to be
basically.
tied to your digital ID.
To make sure you're
Yeah.
not an illegal immigrant, mate.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And the other thing that's notable about that is that this is an ID that you don't only need to show to the state, but you also need to show it to other peers, to civilians, because it's for these kinds of, to your boss, to your landlord, to a bouncer. And so the other types of uses that have already been mentioned, including on the government's own website, are banking, education, childcare, voting. So the possibilities are endless and numerous. And as you say, they really go to the very basics of living your everyday life. If you didn't have one, then immediately you won't be able to work.
So Silky Carlo on that, when she's has a podcast saying that every aspect of your life, wherever you go, and you have this on your phone, this app on your phone called digital ID, that's looped to all your identity, everything that you possess, your social security, everything that you possess, where you go, everything that you do, the government would be linked to everything, everywhere you go. So any corner where you go, whoever you date, it'll be linked to it. And she's saying that. So if they want to stop your employment, they can. They can. But this digital ID is a serious thing. And saying it's mandatory, you won't be able to go into work without it. And I'm sharing this video, but do you think if this is successful in London, you don't think it's gonna spread? You don't think it's good that, oh, because I know people always think that, well, it's happening there, it's not happening here. And it's not gonna come. It's not, it's all, it may be successful. People are protesting it, but but the prime minister is mandatory or you can't work. So it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna go through. You could protest it. You could protest it. And I'm against it because I don't like that control aspect. I don't like that. So even if you don't like it or not, it's mandatory. So you don't think that because all was in Great Britain is in Europe, there's some people in the United States that don't know nothing about it, never heard it, don't know nothing about it. This is why it's good to not be oblivious of what's going on around you, around the world. Always keep yourself tuned into what's going on around you and around the world. Because if it affects your next door neighbors or it affects somebody else, it's going to affect, eventually it's going to trickle down and affect you. And you don't think that if in Great Britain it's mandatory and regulate people coming into the country, that's not illegal coming into the country. You don't think it could come here too? Leave a comment. You don't think it could come here too? Sure it can. You don't think President Trump would agree to it and be like, you know what, this is a great idea. I like this idea. Sure he can. So never think that, oh, it's happening there. It may not be able to, it cannot happen here. That's a mistake that people do think.
If I told you your phone is about to become your ID, whether you like it or not, well, it's all part of a controversial government plan to try and discourage illegal migrants.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Well, the government says digital ID will be compulsory for everyone in the UK, but you won't actually have to use it, to carry it, or show it to anyone unless you're applying for a job. The ID will be held on your phone, like the NHS app or a bank card, and it'll include your name, date of birth, nationality or residency status, and a photo, and possibly your address as well. By the end of 2029, you'll have to show it to your employer to prove you have the right to work in the UK, or they could be prosecuted. But the government says it'll also make life easier when applying for services like driving licenses, childcare, or benefits. All European countries have ID cards. Some of them, like Estonia, have digital ones too. Identity cards were brought in during the First and Second World Wars, but they were abolished in 1952. Former Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair tried to reintroduce them 20 years ago, but the plans were dropped by the coalition government because of concerns about cost, privacy and civil liberties. Digital ID wasn't in the Labour manifesto at the last election, and the then Home Secretary denied looking at the idea last year. It's opposed by the Tories and Reform, who say it's a gimmick which won't stop the votes.
I do not see a single benefit to the government having digital ID other than them controlling what we do, what we spend, and where we go.
A mandatory ID is opposed by the Lib Dems too. Contrary to previous reports, the government isn't going to be branding it a brick card. The whole idea is hugely controversial.
Employers already have a legal duty to check people's right to work. That doesn't happen in the black economy, and there's no reason that digital IDs will make that happen. If somebody's going to work for 20 quid a day in a kebab shop, they're going to do that, digital ID or no digital ID. Nobody voted for this. This wasn't in the Labour manifesto. And I think there are millions of people in the public who will say, I will simply not do this. This is un-British. We are not a checkpoint society. We don't carry papers and we don't like this sort of thing.
So is this the end of digital privacy in the UK, or a smart tech solution to the problem of illegal migration? Do you think it would even work? Let us know what you think.
Certain liberties will be taken away. Certain liberties will be regulated. You gotta whisper what you say. More like a dictatorship. Digital ID. Like I said before, gotta be mindful what you say now. especially live in London, because one slip up of your tongue can shut certain opportunities to you. In other words, you could be going to work with your digital ID and you can't clock in because the powers that be shut your access down. Imagine that. The ID, digital ID, has looked to all everything that you possess, social security, everything, your bank accounts, your money, everything looped on one app. Everything looped to one app. Everything. Everything looped to one app. And people compare it to Sorry. Yeah, Sorry listens to what you say. Yeah, it does, but digital IDs on a different level, on a higher level. On a higher level. Where everything is looped and one false move and they're shutting it down. So there's some people for it and some people against it. Now, like I said before, some people don't understand the depth of why they lean on convenience. Oh, I can leave everything at home, not knowing that that the damage, that you're controlled. You know where you're going at every aspect of your life. You know when you're traveling out the country, when you're doing every aspect of your life, they have tabs on. Now the live word of the day is coming out of John 14:1. This is for those who do not take it, that are not taking it, and decided not to take it, and that is following God and obeying the Lord and sticking by the word of God. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. So trust in the Lord. God is a provider and a waymaker. God will not let you starve. God will provide. I refuse to take it. But God, that's why I'm a strong believer of just seeking the Lord and putting Him first. This also reminds you and prepares you to, it's time, y'all. Time to time to have that entrepreneurial spirit. Time to try to make your own income. Whether it's online, maybe brick and mortar, but whether especially online. If you can make a source of income online, maybe that will help. Maybe you don't have to punch out and punch in. Control your own time. You can make your own money. That's where I'm heading to. That's where I'm heading to. Because these jobs are linked, are controlled by the powers that be. And if you get this digital ID, and if they don't like what you say, they can shut it down. They have the power to, but they have full control of what you do. They can regulate where you go. They can regulate and see where you go. And they know what you're doing and what you're saying. But this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless. And if you like what I shared, smash the like button. Also, people that don't know about this digital ID, when you get a chance, share this share this video with them. Let them be aware of what's going on. But this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings until next time.